So welcome to episode number 2 of my YouTube channel. So hopefully this episode gives you a bit of an insight into how my mind works. I feel like every time I'm driving past a house, I'm always just looking at it and thinking how I could improve it, what I would do to it to change it, to improve its street appeal. And I don't know, my mind just works in a certain way. And so hopefully this gives you a little bit of an insight, a bit of a glimpse into how I operate on a day-to-day basis. Hope you enjoy it.
So I'm very excited to show you my latest project at 7 Brae Street, Coorparoo. So this is a real personal project for me because it is, a personal development project with no clients involved. So I'm really excited to start this one. Actually, it's set up, the structure is set up as a joint venture with an investor. And he is actually a former client of mine who I built a home for 2 years ago in Camp Hill, which is the next suburb over. So we'll be doing this project as a joint venture. Common problems that I come up against is I like to build houses so that they're bottom heavy, but in Brisbane, Queenslanders are always built top heavy, as in the house is up here and they're sitting on skinny little legs. And so because Brisbane City Council is mindful of keeping the aesthetics of Brisbane all the same, all houses, including new houses, have to be designed and built so that they are top heavy to keep in with that aesthetic. However, I don't like that. I think houses look a lot better if they are bottom heavy, as in the ground level is bigger and then the next level is tiered backwards. So I'm always in a process of finding ways around this so I can get houses to be built the way that I want them to be built. And also because I specialise in American style homes and they are traditionally built bottom heavy. So this is why you see in Brisbane a lot of the time new houses that are built and the top level often has an overhanging veranda and the garage is set back. And that's because you have to do it that way to get through council, but I just think they look so silly. And so the way that we have done this is that we will lodge the plans for this home so that this here stays closed in for the purpose of getting an approval, but we really want it to be an open veranda. And we will raise the house and then the bottom level will be bigger than the top level. So we will get it through council that way, but then as a matter of fact, we will build it so that this section through here is actually an open veranda, and then after we've built it that way, we will go ahead and get retrospective approval and do it sort of backwards. I'll show you through. So this little front porch will become the porch off the master bedroom, and this will be on the second story by the time we raise it. And this is the master bedroom. We're knocking out a whole lot of walls through here, and this room will become the ensuite. All this will be getting knocked out, and these are bedrooms, and it will go out onto the back deck. We shall be wrapping around the back of the house and we should get some city views.
So just to explain a bit further what I was explaining earlier, here is an excerpt from the Residential Design Small Lot Code. It says that car accommodation must not dominate the appearance of the building when viewed from the street. And so a possible solution is that double garage with a maximum door width of 6 metres, which is recessed at least 1 metre beneath the upper story balcony or veranda to allow for overshadowing of the garage. So in other words, you have to have an overhanging balcony with a recessed garage door. And I can understand the intent of Brisbane City Council. They don't want to have an ugly garage door as the main feature of a house. However, the downside of this, of course, is that you've got top-heavy houses. And so I don't think that's really a win-win scenario there. And another excerpt, this one's from the Traditional Building Character Overlay Code. It says that development for a dwelling house does not provide for the ground story to project further forward of the upper floor veranda or balcony structure. Again, that's the same thing in different wording. And so, I feel like I'm always coming up with design ideas, and then my drafts person is constantly saying, forget it, Rachel, we won't get that through Brisbane City Council. But I'm just so determined and I'm passionate about building this style of home that I find I'm constantly just trying to work out, trying to interpret the wording of the codes, and also working with my town planner to try and find other ways, alternate ways to get these homes built the way that I want them to get built. And so I've done this enough times now to kind of know how to go about doing it. But I'll just flick through now a few quick shots of some houses that show what I'm talking about with overhanging veranda and the recessed garage, so that you can understand what I'm talking about and what I don't like about it. So hopefully that makes sense.
Rach, what's going on here?
That's my dog Benji.
The other thing.
Oh, this is little Adam. Yeah, he's it's a clay sculpture of my brother-in-law Adam's head. So the backstory here is my brother-in-law Adam, he thinks he's pretty funny. And so every single Christmas he gets me a ridiculous and elaborate gift of himself. So this year he paid a sculptor on the Gold Coast to sculpt out a mold of his head. And so he was telling the story about how he went in for session number 1. He had to sit there as a live model while they were carving out his head. And then the sculptor was quite mad when he went back for live session number 2 because Adam had put on some weight. And so the sculptor was quite furious that she had to make some changes because Adam had put on some weight. But this is my present for this year. And have a look up here. This is the present that he got me last year, which is actually, he commissioned an artist to do a Renaissance style painting of himself on a horse. And then he had it framed, and so now it sits in my music room. And then the year before that, he got me this life-size core flute cut out of himself, which has interchangeable quotes. And for about 1.5 years it sat in my music room, and every afternoon when I came home I got a fright because I saw this man standing in my living room. And the year before that he got me this calendar, and he spent about 6 months preparing it, and you can see that every month has a different photo of himself in a different location. Just quite ridiculous, really. And another year he got me this montage selection of photos of himself. This was the first year. This is sort of where it all started from there. And so it's all kind of spiraled out of control, and I'm very curious to see what he gets me for Christmas this year. So I hope that was some useful content for you. If you have any comments or questions, please just leave a comment below. And please would you like and subscribe to this channel. So, oh gosh, he's a heavy sucker. So for now, it's bye from little Adam and me.